I want to show you my art studio, which in reality is just a living room. Now let me show you how I transform the space. I put this huge plank, which makes me feel more in my artsy space just because it looks different from the living room's table. I have a little corner for art materials in my bedroom. I don't draw there because there is not much of a daylight. The big window is here, so it is great for filming. When I want to draw, I take all of the things from bedroom to this table, and in the evening I put everything back. One side of the plank I use for drawing and filming. So I put together few things for my filming setup because I like to film reels with my art process. I have few washi tapes, some clips, interesting papers, tints, watercolors. I don't have any tips for how to set this up. I just follow my heart where to put everything, and each day it can be different. I already showed you some of this process to my Instagram stories, and I got a few messages where fellow artists said thank you for showing not the fancy art studio, and it gave them encouragement to share their living room or bedroom art, and I am so happy to hear that. I also showed on my Instagram stories my fancy phone holder for filming. When I started filming TikToks and Instagram reels, I was just holding my phone in hand, and as it was shaky, I tried to find a different solution, which was the tin box. So what I do, I put the phone in the box, and if I want to get not such a close-up, but a wider shot, I use more boxes under the tin box. And I know all the fancy equipment helps us do the job better, but if you don't have the means or are just starting out, then use whatever you have. And here is the difference for just the box and box on top of box. Okay, so I showed you how I put together my studio. Now let's draw. This video won't be a tutorial, but you can find a lot of them on my channel. For now, I want to talk about my plans for future and why I left Patreon and artist Burnout. What inspired this London doodle is an art challenge I created together with Tulip Art Designs. She's gonna make a draw with me tutorial for both the phone booth and the double-decker bus, so I will put her channel link in the description and you can go have a look. Before I start all the big story talk, I just want to go back in time when I was working 9-to-5 job. I was traveling in my free time, and after travels, I was making travel journals, putting all the pictures in, writing about my adventures, drawing little doodles, and my dream was to one day create stickers and all kinds of travel related art things. Throughout my art journey, this dream was always somewhere in the background. I started with cute rabbit drawings and later found my love for drawing buildings. Don't get me wrong, I still really love to draw buildings, especially if it is a coffee shop, hence my love for coffee. But I still haven't created my dream in reality. So with this doodle drawing, I want to start that. Now for the future plans. I plan to make stickers, sticker sheets and prints within travel theme. So when I finish this doodle page, I will scan it, edit and make it look like a sticker sheet and try out few companies to find the perfect one for me. And let's put stickers in the shop. I also need to spruce up my webpage, and that will take some work. And of course, make even more coloring pages. I also really want to make physical watercolor coloring pages, but my first release for them went so bad because I needed so much more pre-orders than I got for me to be able to order the pages. But lesson learned. Now I want to talk about the bad side of all this journey. Well, not really the bad side, but you get the point. About social media and Patreon and how it led to my burnout. Now, why I even started the Patreon. As my audience on social media was growing, also grew messages with all kinds of questions about the art process. I love to reply to short and easy questions, but that's not always the case. For some messages, I would need to write for hours to explain how things work, and that is my time that I would rather spend drawing. So I thought about Patreon, that I could show my skill there, people could learn something, and it would benefit me too. And also do a happy mail. The happy mail part made me very happy, as I enjoyed making little prints and packaging, everything going to the post office and send them off. But the teaching part was the struggling part for me. For the first 2 months I think I was excited and everything went well. But then it went downhill. I really couldn't think of anything new to teach because all the techniques I am using were repetitive and I felt like I am just scamming people out of money to show them the same thing, just different drawing. And that led to me thinking all month what to draw, then film, edit and repeat. Besides Patreon, I had commissions to do. I wanted to learn also myself new things, just draw for fun, create new products for my shop, but I just couldn't. I knew I need to think of new idea or new technique to show, then film and edit. Also, the filming part is a bit hard for me, as English is not my first language. I know I chose to do everything in this language to reach a lot wider audience, because there are only 1.8 million people that speak Latvian. So, it is a tiny audience compared to English speakers. But in English, I don't know all the art-related words, and I also can't show my personality as well as in Latvian, but I try to be my funny self even in English. But I am happy that I tried Patreon. It taught me that I don't like this monthly structure. If I have something I want to say or teach, then I do it. And it may be just once a year. And it's okay. Now, with social media, if you don't post, you are not staying relevant. And people forget about you. But it is not easy to come up with what to draw, then draw it, take photos, make videos, then think of hashtags and all that. Now, you may be thinking, why are you whining with your huge follower count on Instagram? But while growing in followers sounds fun, the reality is that less and less of my followers are seeing my posts. Like, for example, when I had 20,000 followers, my posts reached at least 50% of them. Now with 140,000 followers, my posts reach only 3% of my followers. So yeah, that's a huge drop in reach. The Instagram algorithm is so weird that even after years, I haven't figured it out. I try not to focus on likes and all that, but I am human. I also get sad when the drawing I spent hours on making doesn't get much love. So this is the same as for Patreon, just now it's the algorithm that is demanding me to create and show everything. But to stay out of burnout, I will create when I want to create. Also, I don't get this latest Instagram glitch because my latest posts are flagged, that they are not following community guidelines, and that all my building drawings are nudes, which they are not. Well, I think they are not, and it gets discouraging to post just to get new notification. We lowered your posting feed. Take it or leave it. And I know a lot of you are struggling with this too, with art blocks, burnout, algorithms not liking you, and to that I say, find your creative spark, let it come from within. And when it comes, create and share it with the world when you want to, not when the algorithms demand you to share. I will also try to follow my advice. I hope with this video you felt less alone and that you saw me more human than before, because I am the same as you, a little artist in this big world that wants to be seen and heard. And if you have something you want to share with me, write me a message or leave a comment under this video. And see you next time. Bye!